Welcome to Parent Squad. Today we want to talk car seat safety. And listen to this. A study by Traffic Injury Prevention found in deadly crashes, about 7 of 10 kids under the age of 13 were not safely strapped in. Parents, let's make sure our kids are safe in the car. So here to help is Nick Hogan, Riley Children's Health Injury Prevention Coordinator, and Nikki Keener, who is a child passenger safety technician. You guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Of course.
This is such an important topic. I have a little boy myself. He's 18 months old, so we've gone through the stages of car seat safety. And I think a lot of parents think they're doing it right, or they think they do it right most of the time. But are they? So I think it's totally good. These are lessons to continue to go over and over again. What do you see in your practice?
Some of our biggest hits are a lot of parents forget to lock their retractor. Super easy to do. When you're locking the retractor, you just pull that seatbelt out all the way. You're lots of the times going to hear that click and you're going to hear that ratcheting noise.
Oh.
That's your sign that it's locked. You'll know for sure when you let it go back in and you can't pull that back out.
Do all seatbelts do that these days?
The ones in the back will.
Okay.
At least the two on the side. It's a lot of the times the middle one will do it as well, as long as it is the shoulder belt. Sometimes we still have that lap belt, but yes, most car seats will lock in the back.
Okay. And I think as it changes to people they master the newborn stage, but the baby grows, you have to change certain things, which we're going to go over in a second, or changing the sides or knowing when to flip the child around, when not to flip the child around. So first thing I think you guys want to talk about is harness tightness, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So when we are checking to make sure a child is nice and secure in their car seat, we always want to come in at their shoulders and we want to try and pick this belt up to pinch it back on itself. If we can pick it up and pinch it back and really hold on to it, we know it's too loose. We don't want any room between baby's shoulders and that harness in our rear facing position, because that means baby can actually slide out of the car seat.
Oh, okay. Because I think people are thinking, oh, because look at this little baby here. This baby is so tiny. You're thinking that you don't want it too tight. You don't want to hurt them. You don't want to cut their skin.
Right. Typically, one of our safety things that we do is, if you're worried about it being too tight, is we want to be able to put one finger in there.
Okay.
That way we know that the belt is not cutting into the skin.
Okay. I think we did this right. At least one finger.
Yes, at least one. We can go up to 2, but usually I want to stick with that 1 to make sure we are nice and snug.
Okay, chest clip placement.
Chest clip. For our infants, our newborns, we want to make sure that that's nice and even with our armpits.
Okay.
That's our rule of thumb for babies, because it assures us we are high enough on the chest that we've got the rib cage and the breastbone to stop it from any internal damage. When we get a little bit bigger, we have a little bit more torso room. We can go between nipple level and armpit, so we have a little bit more room, but with babies, we want it nice and high.
Okay, nice and high. So I'm thinking internal organs, but also so they're not able to slip out.
Yes.
Is that right?
So a lot of the times this is also called a retainer clip, because it helps keep baby from tipping out of the car seat.
Ah, got it. Has to be high enough and tight enough.
Yes.
All right, also rear facing versus forward facing. This is something that is really tough. Here we are at the 18-month-old and with the 18-month-old, and my husband wants to flip him around. However, I'm like, no, keep him here, because he's tall, but he doesn't exactly have the weight.
Right.
So what's right, what's wrong when it comes to that?
So we like to go off of baby size.
Okay.
We like to try and go until baby meets the maximum height and weight requirement for their seat. Once they reach that, we look at what they are. So if we are still under 2 years old, we still want to be rear facing. That part is Indiana law. We suggest leaving kids rear facing until closer to 3 years old, so that we get a little bit more time to develop our neck muscles and all of that before we're being jolted forward on hard stops and things like that.
See, that is another good point, because I think America, Nick, you can chime in here. I think America has an obsession with trying to rush kids into growing up and doing mature things. And he's big for his size. He might be big for his size, but he still has to develop all those other things, like you said, when you're talking about the neck muscles, motor skills, et cetera, et cetera.
Many of these seats can cover many ranges of sizes. So you might feel your child is too big for the seat, but you can easily check that with the labels on the side. They usually have height and weight requirements. As long as you're still sitting inside of both of those, that seat is still working for your child.
Okay, got it. All right, next is seat belt or latch system. Okay, what do we need to know about that?
So seatbelt versus latch. Latch is something that usually comes attached to the car seat itself.
Okay.
Let me see, I can flip this one over.
Okay.
That's our top tether. So our latch are the clips that come with our car seats.
Oh.
Those, I've got this one attached via latch here, will come up and it puts one to each side so that our clip goes in and there's little metal bars that they clip onto.
Oh, I've seen those. Okay, so usually in the middle seat, a lot of times you'll see them.
Usually there's 2 positions in the vehicle that have that.
Okay.
And it's usually the 2 sides. Sometimes you can borrow for middle, but it's usually the sides that get those.
Okay, and these are straps that are attached to the car seat.
Yes.
So you're latching them on to the car.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So you're latching them on, and then of course you always get a free end with it. That way you can tighten everything down and make sure your car seat isn't going to move that inch or greater.
Okay, got it.
With seatbelt, that's when we take our seatbelt, and you never want to use both at the same time.
Oh, really? Why?
Really. That is because, I will show you. So when we take our seatbelt up,
This is the one we have,
and
the
weave it in.
seatbelt one. Okay.
Right. So when we take our seatbelt and we weave that in, we end up with a different portion that is getting some of this pressure. So we end up with it pulling in 2 different directions. So the event of an accident, it can actually snap and shatter.
Okay.
There's integrity to the plastic that we worry about. Car seats will expire sooner or later because of the plastic, and then any time that you've been in an accident with the car seat, there could be small fractures or anything like that in there, so we always want to make sure we replace because we don't want there to be any problems with the plastic because it's ready to be the safety mechanism for your child to stay in the car.
I don't want to gloss over that. He just said that your car seats expire. I literally just learned this a few months ago when I was purchasing one, and I don't think many people know that they expire.
They don't. A lot of people like to share car seats and pass them along
Yes.
because it's a cost savings for a lot of families, but car seats only last about 6 to 10 years.
Okay.
Usually you can find that information on a sticker underneath your car seat, at least a manufacturer date usually, and if you don't know, you don't want to go past 6 years on that manufacturing date.
Because it might look good, but we're talking about, or you can clean it, but we're talking about the integrity of the plastic. And let me tell you, 6 to 10 years, they keep coming out with new things and new technology anyway. So, you know, you got to update it. Okay, car seats do expire. Make sure you check the labels. Go back to your demonstration to finish your demonstration.
With this, we end up with pressure here and all of that, which can cause this to snap and everything just to come undone. So that's why we don't want to use both.
Okay.
But when we're using the seatbelt, we want to come up, across and down. We're just going to weave it in. And then, of course, we want to take that seatbelt out, pull it out all the way, and lock that retractor. And then we don't want any twist. We want to pull
Yes.
and get that down nice and tight.
I've seen this before.
Our-
This is the most peaceful seatbelt demonstration that I've ever seen, because my husband and I were usually yelling at each other and sweating by this time, but go ahead.
So you just want to make sure you get that nice and tight. We're looking for no movement when we go to push and pull it. So
The parents at home know what I'm talking about. Your side, no, your side. No, you're not pulling it right.
And then you add a child in
Hold it.
there that's all bent.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, go ahead.
So we just don't want it to move back and forth when we go to push and pull on it.
Okay, that's how you check it. Just feel
Yep.
if it's stable. Okay.
Yep. The next check that we would do would be the level, which is found on the carrier of this car seat itself.
Okay.
It is this little box here.
The level.
Yes.
Oh,
so
yes,
we
yes,
have a
yes.
little ball that kind of rolls back and forth in this little line. We have a certain section that we want baby to be in when we set this back on its base. And as long as it's within that section, we are set and good to go.
Okay. So we got the seatbelt or latch system, all right? And then are we ready for booster seat readiness?
Booster seat readiness.
Yes. So if your child should be
We'll pop over here to Nick. Thank you, Nikki.
Of course.
Booster seat. So wait, a study found more than a third actually are not ready. So a third of the kids are. We talked about this. A third of people want to advance, or they think their kid is long enough, or they're trying to get out of the toddler phase or whatever. So a third are actually not ready for a booster seat.
Yes, a lot of parents are rushing to get their kids in that regular seat when a lot of kids
why that is.
still need to be inside at least a booster seat.
Okay.
Unless your child is able to sit with their back fully against the back of the car seat and also put their feet flat on the ground with their knees bent normal, and they can maintain that the whole ride,
Oh.
then they should still be in a booster seat.
Okay.
We also want to make sure that the seatbelt is going across the proper parts of the chest, so going across the chest and going across the lower part of the lap. We don't want it going across the stomach or in all those odd spaces. That booster seat's putting them in the right position in the back of that car to be where they're supposed to be, and that's the whole point of it, and
Okay.
the purpose to keep them safe.
Okay, okay. And so is there something that we're looking for specifically with a booster seat?
With a booster seat, the key part is, do you have a headrest or not? Those headrests prevent whiplash.
Okay.
If you don't have a headrest on the seat that you're putting a child in, and they're in a booster seat, you need to make sure that you have a high back booster, so something that has this headrest on here to prevent the whiplash.
Okay.
If you have a headrest behind you, you can use one of the smaller seats that you see that look mostly like just something a child would sit in, but you have to have that headrest.
Okay. Now, we touched on expiration dates a little bit. What about recalls? Is that something that usually the manufacturer lets you know, or how seriously should you take recalls?
You should take them very seriously. You will usually get a card inside all your new purchases for car seats that has information to fill out. That's not to get spam or anything like that. That is so the manufacturer can actually contact you if they have a recall directly, so they can get you into a new seat. But if you don't have that information, you can go to nhtsa.org, and they can provide you with that information too, including recalls on your cars too.
Okay, NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety.
A transportation safety agency, yes.
There you go. That's what you want to contact. Okay, and then who's this little guy over here? Do these people have names?
We don't have names for them. We should name them. We actually,
should.
You
We have
totally
so
should
many
name
babies,
these
though.
people.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want
we
you to
have
forget
totes
their
of
names.
babies.
Yeah, I don't want you to forget their names. Okay, is there anything that we can do to check to make sure that we are doing everything right? I know every parent wants to be the parent that's doing it right.
So 3 out of 4 car seats are going to be installed incorrectly. It's a sad fact, but people need help, and that's okay, and it's okay to ask for help. We have inspection stations that you can go to.
Because you used to be able to go to the fire department, and then they changed.
Yes, some fire stations still do. It really depends on, do they have a child passenger safety technician on board who can actually go through and do the teachings.
Okay, got it. Maybe that's what changed, was how they regulate it.
Yes.
Okay.
So Riley has an inspection station that's always available by appointment by using our website for www.rileychildrens.org. And if you go to /injury prevention, you're able to find the phone numbers in order to make an appointment there. You can also Google for automotive safety programs. There's many around that you can get hooked into that have a list of other inspection stations or clinics that are going on if you also need to find resources.
One thing that I saw people talking about online was not letting their child, their baby, sleep in the car seat. So these are not designed for any child to be sleeping in them.
Not inside the house. A car seat's made for being inside the car. So when we have everything nice and leveled, the child's in the right position that if they did fall asleep, that their airway is going to be open. But once we move that car seat outside of the car situation, the chance that the car seat's going to be unlevel or the child's not going to be able to readjust themselves greatly grows, and we could cut off the airway, and we can run into a lot of situations for unsafe sleep.
That makes a lot of sense. I definitely want parents to underscore that, because you think, oh, never touch a sleeping baby. It just seems like you would leave it. Seems safe. It's a car seat, right? What's going to happen? But a lot of these manufacturers actually recommend against that, so that is the incorrect way to not use a car seat. And unfortunately, we see the unfortunate stories that come from that every year. Another thing, you're never supposed to leave your child unattended in a car seat, and I can see a lot of parents wanting to run in real quick because you forgot a water bottle or a baby bag, or wanting to run into a gas station because you only have to, put $20 on pump 6, and the unthinkable happens.
Yes, there are, of course, all the unexpected dangers of what can happen when you leave something unattended, and you don't want to leave your most precious cargo in there, your child, inside your car just for a quick trip in.
Not the most precious, not the most. Okay. Well, let me just say, this is so helpful. I know I was looking for this when our little boy was on the way, and so for parents to be able to go someplace and get direction, get tips, and to help, I think it's really, really needed. Thank you.
Thank you.